Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope you're doing really well in this moment in time, and that whenever and wherever you happen to be, as we hurtle through space in the universe and the matrix, that you are being extremely careful if you are trying to shop online and that you are being aware of all the things that are going on in your daily life, including your relationships, because the astrology has been really crazy the past 6 weeks actually. Now what I mean by this is I'm going to give you an example that you're going to laugh at, and I'm still reeling from. I made a purchase on wish.com. There's a few things I need from the United States, and I'm having these things shipped to Florida, where a guy who lives here in Ecuador is going to fly to Florida and pick the stuff up. Now he does this for anybody who registers, and he gets all the things, puts everything in. He brings empty suitcases and he gets everything he can, puts it in a suitcase, and delivers it to all of us. $25 flat rate and $5 per item. So like my $2 bandana with a $1 shipping fee might end up being like an $8 bandana, for example. If he's very sweet. I ordered 4 of them, so hopefully he'll consider that's one item, because they're really tiny bandanas. But I feel like, hey, I could use it for my hair, and I can use it as a mask. And every time I use the only bandana I have to wash it. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I don't want to make a whole load of one bandana. It makes no sense. So it'd be nice to have 5 of them at the end of the week. Then I could take a walk every day. Stupid things like that, right? And I ordered like a light so that when I start, I'm going to do a class. And I'll let you guys know. I'm going to do a pre-launch and then a launch of the class. I'm going to let you guys know when. But I'm still formulating it right now. But I'm going to do a couple classes. Professional classes that, probably for about $40, maybe a little bit less. But they'll be chock full of information that will help you on your spiritual journey. And through some of the shadow stuff, and I might even teach a couple art classes. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. But I need a light because I need to have a professional appearance. So stuff like that, stuff that if I ordered it and had it sent directly to Ecuador, it would never get here. I'd spend $50 on shipping and it would never get here. Because I don't know why. Maybe they're corrupt. I don't know. If I ordered 5 decks of cards, you guys. Oracle cards and tarot cards. I know that sounds excessive, but there's literally probably thousands of decks out there. And I wanted to be able to do readings for you guys on the show And eventually, when I do more readings, when I get these cards, I'll do more readings for you personally if you want them. And it'd be fun to be able to pull out cards from 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different decks to see if the same cards don't come up. I mean, can you imagine if the Ace of Wands came up in 2 or 3 different decks? It's like double, triple confirmation. Or if we ask for clarification and use another deck for the clarification. So it's going to be pretty interesting. So hopefully, ojalá, as they say in Spanish, and inshallah, as they say in Arabic, as God wills in English. So anyway, I did this order. So I thought that was kind of neat. I'm doing this order. Bought a few things for my kid and a few things for me. To the tune of, with $50 shipping handling, it was like $188. And then after I was done with my order on wish.com, and my God, be careful, especially this time of the vulnerable Mercury retrograde phase when you don't totally know what the hell's going on. It said, hey, play a game with us. You have 10 minutes to get the best deals from the list. And I'm like, holy crap, look at these tie-dye bandanas. How cool. Even more masks. I love it. And so I picked a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, this is cool. And there was a button that I couldn't quite read, and I accidentally pushed it because I didn't have my glasses on. Next thing I know, $111 extra for an order that I didn't realize I was freaking ordering. And out of those things that I ordered, only $32 worth out of the $111 is something I actually need. The rest of it is stuff that would be kind of cool to have, but I don't need it. I panicked. Holy crap. I wrote them, I'm like, I can't afford this. $111 extra dollars. What? And it's 111, so it's some kind of message. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. And all I could get was a freaking robot. And the robot refunded $2.95. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Do I have to talk to the robot for every single item? And I got a message from PayPal. You got $2.95 now in your PayPal. They didn't put back in my bank account. Oh my God. Like, what the actual hell? This is the kind of crap that happens during Mercury retrograde. I literally thought it was a game. It said this is a game. It's like a game like Russian roulette is a freaking game. Oh my God. So, I'll get my money back in the next 2 to 3 days. It takes 3 days for them to get the order together anyway, so I'm not terribly worried, and if I get the stuff, so what? I ordered 100 detox patches for my feet. Well, okay, so for the next, 50 days, I guess I'm detoxing now. And if my son decides to also do this, then for the next 25 days, we'll both be detoxing. I'm like, oh, that's such a good deal. All right, there's a deal. It's spot the deals. Holy shit. I spotted the deals, and I accidentally ordered $111 of the shit I didn't need. Be careful at this time. Be freaking careful at this time. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you do. Be careful of electronical stuff. And this is Mercury retrograde. I've been approached by 3 or 4 companies out of nowhere saying that they want to work with me by making me an influencer on Instagram. I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. Sure, that's fine. A couple of them are clothing companies for super skinny people. I'm like, no, I don't need any pre-children clothing. I'm not exactly a people of Walmart, person. If you know what I mean, look that up. It's, well, not before you eat, but it's hilarious. Some of the things, oh my God. I mean, I'm not an enormous person, but I'm also not super skinny anymore. I'm not a size 3. I highly doubt I'll ever be even a 5 again. I would be happy to be back down to a 10. I'm maybe 12 to 14. I don't look bad, but I don't look 100% great right now. And all these people are like, oh, hey, try our clothing. If you order one thing, and then we'll start sending you a shipment every month. And you wear it, and then you tell everybody about, how great you love the clothes. And I'm looking at these sizes going, they're not going to fit my body. They're just not going to fit me. After you have kids, sometimes you end up being a little top heavy, and that's most of the stuff just doesn't work out. And so there's that. And then this other jewelry company, they said, we'll send you jewelry. If you order one thing, we'll send you 2 extra things free and give us a shout out. And I wrote them, I'm like, well, if you give me a shout out, and if we could kind of do a mutual shout out, because they've got like 35,000 followers. That will help. They'll help the show, whatever. But then I started realizing, oh my God, it's Mercury retrograde, so nothing I say or do at this time is going to be, anything you start right now is going to pretty much frickin' unravel. Anything brand new, any new projects or any new, things such as, hey, I'm going to work with this company, have a partnership. Yeah, in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, it's going to be over. Something will happen. They'll go out of business, or they'll ruin yours. I don't know. I mean, I've learned my lesson. I mean, my friend Amber, who was at least in Central, if not all of California, back in the 70s, she was making a name for herself. She's getting kind of famous. She started the very first astrological dating service in the world back in the 70s, called Stars in Your Eyes. Her daughter now has that business, Stars in Your Eyes. I don't know if she's actually doing it now since Amber has passed away, but it was like an amazing thing. But she was a very gifted, talented astrologer, and she always told me, Elena, don't you dare go start anything new when Mercury is retrograde, because as soon as it goes direct, you're gonna be fucked. I swear to God, you're gonna be regretting it. And I'm like, all right. And every year for about 3 years in a row, it was like the end of the semester. I'm in university. I've got to get back to work my way through this summer, save up money so that I could focus on school when fall comes. And every freaking time I would get an amazing job. I would make really good money. And within 3 weeks, as soon as Mercury goes direct, something would happen. Oh, looks like so-and-so isn't going to finish her maternity leave. She wants to come back now, so you have to go. Or someone would tell a lie about me or do some weird crap, and I would get fired. Like one lady I was working at human resources for a major bank, a national bank. And I was at the headquarters, human resources. That was my temporary job. I worked for a temp agency. I'm like, what an amazing job for a temp job. What? And I was like the receptionist for like the president and the managers and all the main people that hire all the other people for the branches. So it was kind of a big deal. And so I went, every day to work, and every day people would drop by and drop off their resumes. And I'd be like, thank you so much, And my job was, as soon as they left, I had to open up the envelopes, and I had to look at the resumes for flaws, misspellings, errors, if the resume was crumpled up or looked dirty or whatever, they all go to the file 13, the circular file, the garbage. And if they looked good, like these are people we'd really want to hire, then they go to like the next level. No, not in the garbage, but in a pile. And then out of those, we'll, separate between, this person could be entry level, this person could be middle management, this person might even be upper management material, and I would have to separate that into piles. And this lady came in, and she was highly qualified for an upper management position. She was an older lady, but she was nice. On paper, she was nice. In person, she was a complete, well, see you next Tuesday. Horrible person. Horrible personality. And so she was kind of in a backup pile because of her personality. And she came back in and she said, I dropped off my resume yesterday and nobody's called me. So I really need to know what's going on. And I'm like, well, I wish you would have called first. I could save you a trip. Your resume has been received and it will be going to the appropriate person when that person is done going through the list of 100 resumes already on her desk. She does not like to be overwhelmed. But I still have your resume and it looks good and you've got a good resume, so we're just, you gotta wait. You have to be patient. We'll get to you within 5 to 7 business days. And then she called me on the phone and she said, I'm calling now to see, it was like the next day, I'm calling to see if anyone's gotten my resume yet. I'm like, I'm sorry, what was your name? Let me write it down. I'll take a message. And what were you applying for, And she says, I'm sorry, and see, back in the day, I was size 3. I was like really thin. And she said, are you that chunky woman who's really short and you wear really ugly colored dresses like that mauve dress you had on? It was a sweater dress my mother had given me and it was like laundry day. But, maybe it didn't look all that great on me, but it was a very rude, conniving thing to say. I go, yeah, it is. Are you the old woman with the pig nose that is super, super bossy, rude, and pushy? Because all of your behavior is going to be put on your resume now with a note, because I'm the gatekeeper and I just lost the keys. And I hung up on her. And then she called to complain about me. And the boss came and I told her what she said. And she goes, ooh, that's bad office politics. I don't like that. I don't want her working here. I go, no, I don't think someone like that should work here. Not when, and I showed her other people, like this guy here, he's got an impeccable resume. When he showed up, he was showered. He smelled good. He had a nice suit on. He had a great smile. He had a wonderful, personality. His mannerisms were very appropriate, and it seems like he would keep the peace. So, for the upper management positions between all the 100 resumes I have right here, these 2 people were the best. But she's such a horrible person, personality-wise, that I think this man should get the job. Because he was so nice. He was actually very kind. And he complimented me and he complimented 2 other people on the way in. And I overheard that. I'm like, God, what a nice guy. Right? What a nice person. And then we had other people. I'm like, okay, this person over here, she's very sweet. She's a little introverted, a little shy, but she was very polite, and she's not as qualified as this other woman, but she's so much nicer that maybe she could be trained for that position. You know what I mean? And so that was my job, to kind of screen people based on how they treated me, the hope, And here I am, already had 1 degree, and I was like 1 year away from getting my bachelor's in psychology. So they knew my qualifications and they liked me. But because that one lady, she kept calling to complain, and it just made me kind of get irritated. And I think it was getting a little bit much. And I think I might have said something on the way out. I was complaining to somebody else about it, and the receptionist in the main lobby heard it, and something got back to someone, and all of a sudden Mercury goes direct and I don't have a job anymore. It's just like these kinds of things. It's just like when, but everything was going really wonderful. It was swimmingly. It was like, I love working here. I would not mind actually having a permanent position here myself. And then all of a sudden they're like, sorry, we won't be needing you for that. Even though I knew that there was a position there. And it was just only because Mercury went direct. And every time when Mercury went direct, and if I went and got a job within 3 days after that, I would keep that job throughout the summer, and I'd have to quit because I'm getting ready to go to college again. And I didn't want to be distracted because I'm easily distracted, Born in the year of the monkey. Chinese zodiac, I'm just very easily discouraged and very easily distracted, and and it's worse during the Mercury retrograde period. But the good news is for you guys, and for me, for all of us, is that Venus has been retrograde for 6 weeks, and it just went direct. And because it went direct, all that was undone and unraveled and unglued in your relationships, if they survived this time, you're going to have the next 3 weeks to put it all back together. Stitch it all back together. And you're going to, everything that should have been done the right way 6 weeks ago, you now have time to repair it for the next 3 weeks. Now, if your relationships didn't survive, then probably don't even bother. There's a reason they didn't survive. It's not just a cruel joke the universe plays. It's probably maybe for the best. If you just got to be careful. I mean, when it was Venus in Gemini, and Gemini is a sign that it could go either way, but when it's retrograde, it's kind of like the backbiting, the lying, the manipulation type of energies can come up, as well as the energy of just being nasty and mean, and when all this is coming up, it's like, do you really want to be with someone who's going to be that way to you, right? Or if you were the one being that way, do you think they're going to really want to be with you after this? And if your relationship can't survive a few weeks of fighting, maybe it was not that strong anyway, and might be time to move on. And maybe the greatest love of your life is on her way to you, or his way to you right now, or their way to you. Like, it's possible. The universe sometimes will undo some things so that better things can, be done or happen. Things, bad things fall apart so that good things can fall together. To rephrase the illustrious Marilyn Monroe. It's just one of those things. But all the planets in retrograde and all the crap going on right now. I mean, we have one more eclipse. I think it's July 5th coming up. And we have, I think, maybe one more planet that has yet to go retrograde. I know that a lot of planets have been lined up, and I know that I mentioned yesterday that the magnetosphere has been really screwed up, and no one knows why. I think we've been bombarded with a lot of not only just cosmic radiation, but plasma from somewhere, not from the sun. The sun's been absolutely quiet as hell. I don't get it. But all of it's been very, very strange. Just so much energy, and I think that the Arcturians have said that they have light ships that if you are really, really struggling and suffering from a lot of the stuff that's been going on from astrological or all the cosmic radiation, all the energy pouring in from the solar winds and the neutron and God knows plasma, whatever, stuff that's affecting the magnetosphere, it's affecting us too. And they said that if there's anything, through Daniel Scranton, they said this, we have our light ships above and just ask, we will beam you aboard. And I think they mean when you're asleep, they'll just soothe your soul, they're here to help. I think the Pleiadians will do the same thing. Ashtar Command will do the same thing. And I kind of feel like, in spite of some of the crazy crap, by the way, this is another topic. I ran across 2 or 3 more people who are pro-Trump and also into the spiritual stuff and the Pleiadian stuff and UFOs. And it's like, I'm not getting this connection, but it's this weird group of people, and I don't think they know each other, and I don't think it's like a club or something, but there's this one strange thing that's going around over and over again, where people are suddenly defending Trump. They're saying that they're for the Pleiadians, and they say that they're channeling the Pleiadians, and the Pleiadians are saying, in spite of people throwing negative energy to the president, they're protecting him because he's helping. And I think that none of this is real. And I keep asking my higher guidance, and I keep getting the answer that these people are delving into mysteries, like conspiracy theories, and that they're channeling their own subconscious minds as opposed to actual channeling. I don't think that Pleiadians are, one of these channels say that the Pleiadians will first go to the United Nations and then land on the White House lawn and then show themselves to the rest of the humans. And then there'll be designated farmers that they go to first. And I'm like, I don't think that's going to be how it happens. I don't think they're going to give a rat's ass about dealing with a president first. It's not a, take me to your leader situation. I don't really believe that's how it's going to work. This isn't Kazoo from the Flintstones landing on the yard. This is real. If they wanted to contact leaders, don't you think that they would be telepathically channeling or taking over the bodies and channeling through the leaders already? Do you think the Queen of England would be channeling Michael Sherahan of Ashtar Command and the Pleiadian Light Forces? I don't think that's going to happen. And I don't think they're going to land on Buckingham Palace lawn either. And so, all these people are saying, well, we're going to have, the event is going to happen where they land at the UN. And then they're going to land on the White House lawn. And then after that, it'll take 7 to 8 years before they reveal themselves to the farmers. And then eventually they'll come and talk to all of us. And I'm like, it doesn't sound right to me. I don't think that's right. A lot of crazy freaking information is being put out there right now. All this defending of Trump, saying he's a good guy. It's like he's responsible for at least raping 27 women and one little girl, like she's 14. He was seen many, many times out at Epstein Child Rape Island. Oh yeah, but he's a good No, not a Pleiadian. No, not a good person. Think about it. If you are a man and you are a good man, how many rape charges have been brought up against you? Because women are just that way, right? They just want to file lawsuits that will embarrass them. Just because it's, Tuesday, right? No, wrong. Women don't want to admit that someone raped them, got the better of them, hurt them, violated them. They don't want people imagining what took place. It's an extremely dangerous situation to put yourself in, to be that vulnerable and to be able to stand up and be that brave. And the fact that 27 women came forward, that means there's probably 100, maybe 200 women that it happened to that did not come forward. You know, if a man is a rapist and then 27 women accuse him of rape, it seems to me that there's probably hundreds that have been violated. It's not like 27 women decided to lie and embarrass themselves and put themselves out there and be vulnerable. So, you know, hundreds of people at the border have been hurt, and I don't even know, dozens at least have died. Syria, people have died. The tear gas things, you know, him giving permission to and trying to order the military around to go against the Black Lives Matter protesters. The fact that he hired a bunch of Nazis to work for him and KKK, you know, Klansmen, and starting race riots at various times over the past 4 years. He's not a good fucking guy. He's not a good guy at all. And the fact that these people are saying that they are channeling the Pleiadians and that they're good, that he's a good guy, I'm feeling like there's a weird sect of people. It might be a conspiracy theory of mine, but it might be a conspiracy that they're actually perpetuating to not only dupe the non-Trump supporters, but also to dupe the New Age people, the New Age community, those in ascension process. A lot of weird information out there right now. Things that just don't make any freaking sense. And that's one of them. It's like I've come across it. I'm not looking for it. It just shows up randomly. I'm like, what the hell is that? There have been a lot of videos lately of Pleiadian light ships, which I think is wonderful. And I do not think that the Pleiadians are trying to protect Trump against all the witchcraft spells that have been sent to him. You know, I feel like they're not really giving a damn about politics. It's not their bag, baby. I don't think they really give a rat's ass, just to be honest. But yet, you know, people are coming up with a lot of crazy theories, a lot of things. Like this guy was talking about Satan and Gabriel yesterday. I was just like, what? He says, it took me 10 years. So before you talk about it, it took me 10 years to come to this conclusion. I'm like, holy man. These people are really coming out of the woodworks. Where the hell are these people coming from? I don't want to even know. I just think we better close the door. Where the hell are these people coming from? There's a weird energy going on. In general, I told you guys about the booms, the random booms that were super loud and rattling the windows, and it felt like all the walls in my house were shaking. It's happened 5 times in the past week. And the dogs have been acting weird. I mean, you guys heard me when I was doing the show last night. They kept knocking on the door. And sometimes they scratch at the door, and sometimes they try to knock like a human to kind of trick us to opening the door, which is super cute. But anyway, I let both the dogs in, and after I finished the show last night, they slept until like 7:40 in the morning, and they started to kind of wake up, and I let them outside. And about 3 hours later, they came back when I was asleep, and my son let them in. And he went on a walk, and I go downstairs, and one of the dogs was in the house. And then the rest of the afternoon, right, he was gone for like an hour. He came back. The other dog came in, and they were here all afternoon sleeping again. And that's not normal for them. Normally they're like running around all day. And they were acting very strange. And about an hour ago, I think it was them, I'm not sure, but I heard 2 dogs attacking what sounded like a little poodle. And there's a little bastard poodle running around here. He's dirty as hell. He's like like he's a white poodle, but his fur, like at the base of his fur, is like jet black kind of dirt, like road dirt, like he's running around in the road. And I know his owner, and I'm like, why the hell doesn't she bathe him? It was very strange. And I'm like, is this your dog? And she's like, oh yeah, it's my dog. I'm like, this dog looks so freaking dirty. And the dog's like going everywhere with her, threatening to kill everybody, you know, just really bad attitude dog. And you know, our wolf dog friends, they just act like they're gonna kill this little poodle. Well, I just heard a noise. It sounded like they might have completed the job. Oh, it was such a horrible sound. I hope that the little poodle is fine, and I hope that these dogs are fine. But there's some strange energy out there, just like almost a danger energy towards animals. And I think a danger energy towards humans that mess with the animals or come in the way, you know, they get in the way of the animals' agenda, you know. I told you guys that like last week there was energy of potential dog bites. Very strange, but there you have it. That was something. Now I'm gonna try to read you guys some of the symptoms, because there were other. I had saved this on. Excuse me. I had saved this on Instagram. All the people that have been talking about ascension symptoms. And of course, now I'm coughing. Bleh. All right, I think I put under spiritual guidance since the name of my little folder. Here it is. I'm going to read to you these and see what you think. Holy shift. White Rabbit Tarot says, holy shift. The only way I can best describe this energy is being stuck in a riptide. If you happen to get stuck in a riptide, we're always told not to fight the current but flow with it. That's what we need to do with this energy. Major emphasis on eating high vibe foods. You might be feeling prompted to eat really healthy right now. It's helping you to step into the light and also helping your heart chakra. Heavy foods or comfort foods tell the body we need to store out of anxiety. We are detoxing right now. We're still clearing a lot of the throat chakra energy, so you might have some sensitivity here. Ears feeling plugged and ringing. And mid and low back feeling sore. Tension, stiffness in joints, and peeing a lot. And she puts a happy face that's laughing with the tears coming out. Yeah, peeing a lot, that's true. The other day, I think I must have gone up and down the stairs 8 times in a day just because I want to use my bathroom on the 3rd floor. I got a lot of exercise that day. Tension and stiffness in joints. Brain is at half capacity at the moment. Seeing a lot of cloudiness around the 3rd eye and the intuition. Now is the time to teach your ego how to finally trust your intuition. Ego wants control and intuition wants to let go. Show your ego how to have some fun. Seeing many people cutting off other people for good. Karma ain't playing right now. A lot of cycles are closing out. And a lot of karma is being returned. I think what she means by that is being returned back to the owner. Sorry, I'm not going to play your game, right? Take the lessons karma offers you if it pops in and says hello. I kind of believe that too. Let's see. There's another one from the 24th. Electromagnetic surges. Talking about the spike in the Schumann Resonance, which is like nothing. Everyone goes to the one website going, ooh, it's for the whole earth. No, it's not. Sorry. Yeah, while it's spiking at 44 hertz is probably 300 somewhere else, So I don't take any stock at all in the Disclosure News website anymore because it's just like literally the lowest energy out of all the possible energies out there. Of course, we don't know because Heart Math has been down again for a week. I don't know what's wrong with that, but is what it is, right? So, okay. But what they did say, this is Guidance by Z is the Instagram account. I think it's a he, I'm not sure. Anyway, this person says, symptoms may present as insomnia, shaking, trembling, especially the hands, anxiety, ringing ears, one or both plugging up or vibrating in your ears, tremors in solar, sacral, and the heart chakras, throat activations, sudden choking. Yeah, what just happened to me 5 minutes ago? I was suddenly coughing out of nowhere. Exactly. Itchiness inside and outside the throat, the thymus area, headaches. Yeah, I had that a week ago. Teeth vibrating. Well, that's a strange one. I haven't had that yet. Heat and itchiness running through your body, pressure in your third eye, brain fog, and indigestion. Then right after that, he said, all is well, which is hilarious. It's is it really though? Is all well? So there's that. Let's see. Trying to see. There's others that I had here. There's an energy update. And of course, another person, I am Pranita. And Pranita is also is talking about the Disclosure News website. It's 44. Oh my God. It's no, you're not freaking feeling it. If you're in Italy, you're feeling it. Kinda. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, to be honest, guys, it's not like we're operating at 8 hertz frequency, and when it goes to 40, we're like, whoa, we're on a roller coaster. That's not true. I'm sure that you and I and most of the people, all the light workers out there, we're probably vibrating at 200 hertz frequency minimum. I don't really know. I haven't really asked. But I mean, I have a feeling that I'm not vibrating at 40. I've got to be vibrating pretty freaking high. Especially for a lot of the crap I'm seeing flying around. Energy isn't, when you're aware of other people in the room that you can't physically see with your eyes, because our eyes can only see so much. It's I don't... People get so up in arms. 40 hertz frequency. Where were you when it's 735 in Honolulu, South Africa? 6 weeks ago? It was 735 hertz frequency. And not one freaking person said, oh my God, the Schumann Resonance is so high. No one said a damn word about it. You know why? I don't think we're really affected by it the way we think. I think we're affected by something. I don't deny that we're affected by something. I just don't think it's this. I think we're the ones that affect it, not it affecting us. But that's my theory. We'll see, Because at first I was yeah, I kind of felt it. And then a couple days later, I don't feel it at all. And everyone's I feel it. And then when I went to Heart Math and I started learning how to use our website, which is complicated, which is why people, even if they know about it, they ignore it. But once you learn how to use it, you're holy man. 500, 300, 700 hertz frequency. That's freaking huge. Don't be whining to me about 44 hertz frequency in Italy being, ooh, it's so high. No, it's not. That's nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet, baby. We're going higher than that. We're all vibrating higher than that right now. It could be down to 7 and we're still vibrating at 200. That's what I think. Anyway, let's see what this person said. So they were what did she say? She had some interesting things, though. She said that, she's we have intense activity on the Schumann. It's 40 hertz. I'm that's not intense, honestly. It's nothing. But she says, but she said the energy was buzzy and jittery, and I wanted to bring this up because it's a different way of describing some of the things that I've mentioned, but I like when I hear from other people what they have to say from their perspective, so that's what I wanted to let you guys know about. I am Pranita. She says, a lot of anxiety, bringing the anxiety back on, venturing into the beta brain wave agitation zone. Okay, whatever that is. But she says she felt surges of energy zapping through her body. Her energy filled all day. So solar plexus feels stiff and nauseous. Yes, I've been feeling that too. Head is buzzing with energies. Ears have been ringing for ages now. Yeah, my ears been ringing for like 4 years, maybe 5. It's like ridiculous. Back of heart chakra pinging with pain. Random pains, aches, and cramps are being felt in the body, head to toe. Situations, people, and energies are being tested. Again, to check if we have learned our lessons or not. And she's saying as Venus goes direct, so this is like 2 days ago. She says, we have 5 other planets in retrograde, so keep on doing your inner work. And we're gearing up again for the last lunar eclipse in the eclipse season, 4th and 5th of July. So yes, that's what I was just saying a few minutes ago. But she says, everything feels busier. There's an urgency to do a lot in less time. Constantly we're feeling like we're being pulled in multiple directions. And we should probably sit in silence 5 or 10 minutes a day to go within and find the calm, which is in the center of the hurricane. Yeah, I agree with that. And something else she said that rang true with me. The parts of the body and our lives which feel achy are just showing us where we need to do inner work. It's for our guidance and not a punishment for ascending. Observe what comes up, clear it proactively. Let the new earth energies favor it big time. So I thought that was pretty cool. So it was good advice and it's kind of neat. Let's see. Now, Guidance by Z also had another one. He said, he said the 66 amps woke him up. I highly doubt that's what it was that woke you up, buddy. But anyway, he says he woke up with severe anxiety. He felt anxious, nauseous, tremors, vibrating, third eye pressure, ears with pain and ringing, insomnia. I think he said that twice. Gross feeling. Yeah, gross feelings. He doesn't explain it, but just feeling gross. I've been feeling gross too. Solar plexus pain, feeling of being in a pressure chamber, head pressure, headaches, fears, and distortions towards self and distortion towards others. He says, breathe through this. Call in your team of light, ask for support. Take your power back, pull your focus entirely back into your self-care so that you can transmute. Take your power back, which he says twice. Breath work, prayer, meditation, drink water, grounding. Watch your thoughts. Not everything you're thinking is true, especially when it comes up as dark, intrusive, or deceptive. Yeah, exactly. I told you guys, there's a lot of deceptive energy out there right now. It's weird. The more we rise, the more we are tested. We know this. We are stronger than we think and destined for brighter and greater purpose. Stay on the path of the light and know your divinity without question. And he said, all is well. It says all is well at the end, which I think is sweet. Even though he's a little bit alarmist when it comes to the stupid Schumann Resonance. This other person said, goddess of the charms. She was like, ooh, second spot on Schumann Resonance. Again, with the same stupid website that's like hardly anything. Expect the unexpected this week, leading up to the eclipse, and next week too, with the 7-7 energy. See that? She has a good point. Forgot about that. Throat chakra getting hit to help clear your disempowerment. You're doubting yourself, and all relationships at this time are being reevaluated. This is true, especially since Venus just went direct. Bloating, thirsty, tired, can't sleep well, or sleeping but can't seem to get rested. Either way. Yeah, I've been having the last one. I'm sleeping, but I don't feel rested. And with a lot of vivid dreams. Now, I'm not going to tell you any more of these, but I think, yeah, okay. So, yeah, let's see where we're at here. So, yeah, that's exactly what I've been feeling. Lots of crazy vivid dreams. I'm waking up and I feel like I was really there where I just was in my dream. Like it wasn't just a dream. It was like another place, and I wake up not rested. I've been having problems with machines. Again, with not having hot water. Even though the battery is new, I think the battery wasn't working. I pulled it out, held it in my hands, gave it Reiki energy, put it back in, and we had hot water for a day. Then I went to go take a shower. Suddenly the hot water, again, not working. It's a new battery. What the hell? It's this massive battery. It's just like a sparker to spark the water heater. It's like the stuff is weird here, but I have a gas tank hooked up to a heater that the flame is not on all the time. You have to turn the flame on so that it burns the gas in the gas canister. Sounds super safe, right? and then there's like a battery, a Rayovac, like a giant battery. It's like almost as big as my fist, this massive battery. It's probably a $7 battery. I don't even know. And it says Rayovac, the one with the cat, with the electricity like hitting the cat, which is, there's something that, I don't know. Eventually they're going to take that symbolism off that battery. I know it. As soon as animals have rights in the United States. But it's not like cats are going to, go, cats' lives matter. They don't give a shit about this. But there's a lot of weird stuff out there. But that was something that's always struck me as a little mean towards cats. But yeah, so like machines, just things just not totally working like they're supposed to. Or we're not working the machines the way we're supposed to. And there's a lot of weird stuff like that I've noticed. Like me pushing that stupid button today and costing myself $111. I thought it was a game. It said, play the game. And play the game where you take my freaking money, you dirtbags. I see right now I'm doing everything in the opposite order, which I should. Okay, here we go. Spaceweather.com. Let's get to this news. We've got 10 minutes. Solar wind speed right now is 323.9 kilometers per second. We've now had 10 days without a sunspot. The Ulu neutron counts are still high. Not very high, so that's good, I suppose. 9.7% space age average, with a 0.1% drop in the past 48 hours. Not a whole lot of a drop, but, hey, we're getting a little bit less radiated. That's cool. Comet Neowise, there's an update here. The comet is still intact, and it has brightened to magnitude 2.4, which means it might be an easy naked eye object when it emerges from the sun's glare in mid-July. That's in about 2.5 weeks. You'll be able to see the comet with your naked eye. That's pretty freaking cool. So, the article about the magnetosphere being hit is still there. There are no significant coronal holes on the Earth side of the sun right now. That's good news. Remember, though, that today, and I already felt it, maybe it's still coming, but today, tomorrow, and the next day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this week, we will be bombarded by solar radiation. Solar winds are coming our way. Well, we will be hit with that plasma from the sun. So just be aware of it. Be aware of it. Okay, so today the network did report 8 fireballs. Usually they're sporadic, but this time there's a little bit difference than usual. 6 of them are sporadic. 1 is a microscorpiid, and 1 is a Junmu Cassiopeia, but it says Cassiopeia. It says one coming out of Scorpio constellation, 1 coming out of Cassiopeia. So there we go. Cassiopeia, I don't know if I'm even saying that right. Schumann Resonance today was 66 from disclosurenews.it. Not a whole lot, but heart mouth, we can't even tell what the hell is going on because they're literally giving us nothing. It's been a week without any updates whatsoever, which is super irritating. Because I bet when we get to it, maybe next week, they'll be fixed already, and we're going to look at this week going, oh my God. It's probably in the 500s, 400s, 600s. I know it's above 100. It's always above 100 somewhere, almost everywhere. except Italy, where it's like everyone's making a big deal out of it being 60. It's like, I don't get that, but whatever. People need to have something to believe in, I guess. I'm very skeptical, so I have to know all the information, Anyway, lesson 321 is where we're at in a course in miracles. Lesson 321. You may find this website, which is the Foundation for Inner Peace, at acim.org, which of course stands for A Course in Miracles. Anyway, we're close. We're coming down to the wire. We have about 45 days left of reading these, so a couple more months, and then got to find something else to do during the introduction, I suppose. Maybe not. I don't know. I hope that these are helping you. I love this. Now, if you want to read the article on what is creation that is before this lesson, you can go to this website and look up lesson 321 and then go to the previous page. At the upper left-hand corner, there is a clickable word that says previous in a bright blue. Click that and you could read all about what is creation. I'm not reading the in-between things between the lessons, only the lessons themselves. And usually in the beginning of this, I was only reading a third of the lesson. Now the lessons are small. The last 1/3 of the lessons are small, so I'm able to read the whole thing. Anyway, here we go. Lesson 321. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Father, my freedom is in you alone. I did not understand what made me free, nor what my freedom is, nor where to look to find it. Father, I have searched in vain until I heard your voice directing me. Now I would guide myself no more, for I have neither made nor understood the way to find my freedom, but I trust in you. You who endowed me with my freedom as your holy son will not be lost to me. Your voice directs me, and the way to you is opening and clear to me at last. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Father, it is my will that I return. Today we answer for the world, which will be freed along with us. How glad are we to find our freedom through the certain way our Father has established. And how sure is all the world's salvation when we learn our freedom can be found in God alone. Father, my freedom is in you alone. All right, so there you have it. I'm going to take a quick break, guys, and when I come back, we are going to once again revisit the current week's Earth Changes report, as well as hopefully we'll get to some weird news. The weekly weird news is something I look forward to every week. I love recording it, and I hope you guys love hearing it. Hope it makes you think, scratch your head, laugh, and give you fun stories to talk about to your family and friends. To kind of break up the monotony of the stupid quarantine. I hope that you guys are doing really well, and I will be right back. The Earth Changes report, and we will figure out who we need to pray for and why right after this message. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's high time you did. It is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's absolutely free. Second of all, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. You guys have known that I've been doing this for 8 months using the Anchor.fm app right on my cell phone, and I have done it everywhere, right? I have recorded this in my living room, my bedroom, little cafes in Quito, Ecuador, all over Cuenca. It's so absolutely easy to make your podcast, and editing is just a snap. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you, and it took me about 2.5 months to become syndicated, and now I'm available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more, and so can you. You can make money from your podcast also, and there's no minimum requirement. You get paid from your very first listener. It is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So please, if you are interested in making a podcast of your very own, do not hesitate to start with Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today.
We can make a difference in our own small way.
It's one small change, we can do that today. Our mind's getting bigger while the world's getting smaller.
But saving the earth's becoming a tall order.
From the minute you awake from your nightly nap,
You can make little changes like turning off the tap.
while brushing your teeth in the bathroom.
You can cycle or walk your way to the classroom.
Cut down the fuel you used to get to school.
Pile in, let's carpool.
In your lunchbox, cut down the plastic. See, these things aren't too drastic. Spread the word, get vocal.
Make it go global.
When buying food, stay local.
Never mind the dishwasher, do it by hand. But I hate washing off.
Ah, come on, it's grand.
Just one small change in the little things we do. We'll show you how, and now it's up to you. It's our future.
It's our earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth. It's our future.
It's our earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth.
Since we found out the earth was sick, we knew we had to do something quick. The earth is our family and our friend.
We need to mend it before it ends.
This is our home, so don't destroy it. Everyone should do their bit. Ice caps melting, seas getting high. Homes will be flooded, polar bears will die. The sun's getting hotter, the rain won't fall. I'm afraid we won't survive at all. Recycle the plastic, please, it's free.
You don't want that ending up in the sea. It's like people use this planet as a bin. Pick up your trash, that's where you begin.
Temperature is rising, we are realizing. We must act now, there's no compromising.
Just one small change in the little things we do. We'll show you how, and now it's up to you. It's our future.
It's our earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth. It's our future.
It's our earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth. If you cut down flowers and trees, you contribute to the mass extinction of the bees. Think of the creatures that don't have a say.
There has to be a better way.
There's no higher being to save the earth. We've got to do something before we get hurt.
At school we know what to do.
But my question is, do you? Just one small change in the little things we do. We'll show you how, and now it's up to you. It's our future.
It's our earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth. It's our future.
It's our earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth. Just one small change in the little things we do. We'll show you how, and now it's up to you. It's our future.
It's our earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth. It's our future.
It's our earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth.
All right, guys, we're going to get right into it. I did want to mention that something that other people aren't really talking about much is the chapped lips syndrome, which is another ascension symptom. So from the first half, I want to mention that. My lips were chapped for over 3 weeks, and I kept putting coconut oil and sesame oil, and I tried everything natural I could think of. I finally broke down and bought a little thing of Nivea lip balm, and it was $4.44. In case you are keeping track of the weird number sequences, that are, so 444, there you go. Yeah, so I paid $4.44 for this lip balm, and in 3 days my lips have been, I would say 95% healed. But I'm still having problems. It's like I'm still like super thirsty and very dehydrated, and no matter how much water I drink, still with the chapped lips. So hopefully it's not the same for you, hopefully, but if it is, now you know it is an ascension symptom. All right, guys, I am blown away by some of these stories on watchers.news. We're going to get right into it right now. Yeah, this is crazy. Homes have been destroyed after intense thunderstorms, and nearly a month's worth of rain fell in just 3 hours. Oh my God, in the UK. In the UK. This is crazy. We're going to the article. Intense thunderstorms spawned lightning strikes that destroyed a number of houses across England, as the Northwest, East Midlands, and Southwest received up to 2 inches of rain in 3 hours on the 16th of June. Well, that's like 10 days ago. They reported it very late. It was almost equivalent to the entire UK's average rainfall in June, which is 2.4 inches. So in a whole month worth of rain in 3 hours. Like, wow. So a lot of houses in Merseyside, Birmingham, and Sheffield were pictured in smoke after they were struck by lightning. One home in Barnston Road called emergency services when Merseyside was being pounded by heavy rain and thunder. You don't know if anyone was inside the house, but a fork of lightning did hit the house and it caused a fire. Oh my gosh, that's like crazy. They said even the roof sustained extensive damage as well as the attached garage, but they didn't report any injuries, which is, well, thank God for that. One owner in Birmingham said that his TV set popped after being hit by lightning. Oh my God. That is absolutely terrifying. It says breathing apparatus teams worked quickly to contain the damage caused by a lightning strike. Occupier was alerted by his TV popping. Oh my God. It's like when God punishes you for watching TV. Ugh. That's terrible. I guess we should send some sunshine, lollipops, and a whole bunch of happiness to the UK. All right, where were we? Okay, so there's that. A meteorite hit the town of Sanchor in Rajasthan, leaving a 1-foot crater in the ground. Oh my God. A 1-foot crater. Meteorite. Well, I mean, you guys know we've been hit by a bunch of meteorites lately. I wouldn't be at all surprised if that's what those big booms I'm hearing are. All right, here's another story. A strong and shallow 6.0 earthquake hits Iceland. Ongoing intense earthquake swarm. Now, that's the 21st. I'm going to tell you guys something early, though, before we get to this. I'm sure this will be in a few days again. Because, I'm going from a week ago until today. What's been going on? I read that 4,500 earthquakes in 24 to 48 hours have happened in Iceland, and now resulting volcanic activity is starting to, it's gearing up. If you live in Iceland, you might want to get away from this volcano because it looks like it might be a doozy. Anyway, so it just says that they have a shallow 6.0 earthquake. Now, this is on the 21st of June. Seriously, since the 24th, they've had like 4,500 earthquakes there. All right, in Turkey, At least 5 have been killed as severe flash floods have wreaked havoc in Bursa, Turkey. 5 people were killed, and it's not bad. I mean, for flash floods, usually it's a lot more people, so at least there's that. But let's send some sunshine also to Turkey. On June 22nd, it was reported that there was an abnormally large plume of Saharan dust that has made it to the Caribbean and expected to reach the southern part of the United States this week. Saharan dust storm. Remember, we were talking about this the other day when it hit Puerto Rico, and the only thing in the sky you could see was Jupiter and Saturn in alignment, and everything else was completely blacked out, well, browned out. The Saharan dust is kind of a golden brown, and just the whole sky was brown in Puerto Rico. Very crazy. I remember the first time I was aware of this happening, Art Bell mentioned it, that it was expected to hit the U.S., and the very next day I went outside, and all over our deck in Northern California in the mountains was sand from China. It wasn't Saharan, it was Chinese dust from the Gobi Desert. I mean, it's crazy that this can happen, right? It's like, oh, wow, I'm touching a little bit of China right now. Wow. The world is a lot smaller than you think. So yeah, an abnormally large plume of Saharan dust made it to the Caribbean, and it's getting ready to hit the U.S. It probably already has hit the southern U.S. So I guess if you're there, make sure that you are, I don't know, wearing sunglasses, maybe wearing a mask. Don't want to breathe in the dust. It's pretty interesting to see it, though. Sweep it up. Maybe study it under a microscope. Very strange stuff. Okay, oh goodness. More than 58,000 hectares, which is 143,000 acres of rice, has been damaged in the Mekong Delta as the worst drought in history hit that region. It's in the Mekong Delta. Let's send prayers and love and light for them, that they get rain. Let's send rain to the Mekong Delta. Let's deflect it from the UK and Turkey. Just send it on over to the Mekong area. Now, a slow-moving old fort landslide reactivates, forcing evacuations near Peace River in British Columbia. That's really strange. A landslide reactivating? I didn't know that they were active or not active. I thought it's something that happens, and then everyone goes, oh my God, holy crap, that happened. And then what? Then they're just like, well, that was weird. And then that's it. I mean, is a landslide something that can be activated whenever, randomly? I did not know this. You learn something new every day, I guess. I don't even know. I mean, I don't even know what to do about that one. What kind of prayers do you send? Do you send prayers that the landslide stops sliding? The land stays still? I don't even know. Let's just send love and light in general to British Columbia. Let God sort it out. Now, this one is concerning to me. Thank God didn't happen when I lived there, but a very strong and shallow earthquake hit Oaxaca, Mexico, near the coast. 7.4. Oh my God, that is enormous. A 7.4 earthquake hit Oaxaca, Mexico. I'm going to go to the story because this is crazy. It's nowhere near Puerto Escondido where I used to live, but it was only 14 miles deep. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. And the EMSC reported it as 6 miles deep. and they both reported it as being a 7.4 earthquake. Magnitude 7.4. That is absolutely crazy. Now check this out. This is in Oaxaca, Mexico. There are 640,000 people living within 100 kilometers or 62 miles. And within 46 miles, there's 270,000 people living there. Within 50 miles, there is 89,000 people. I'm sorry, within 30 miles, there's 89,000 people living there. And within 12 miles of this earthquake, 13,000 people live within 12 miles of it. So, based on the available data, hazardous tsunami waves are forecast for some of the coasts. They believe that the waves will reach between 3.3 feet and 9.8 feet, so up to 10-foot waves above the tide level are possible along the coasts of Mexico. The tsunami waves are forecast to be less than a foot above the tide level for the coasts of Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Hawaii, the Honduras, Jarvis Island, Kiribati, Nicaragua, Palmyra Island, Panama, and Peru. Now, weird that they're not mentioning Ecuador, who definitely has a coast between Mexico and Peru. Hello, we're right here, right in the middle of it. But I guess we'll get a little bit lucky. I would love to live near the beach, which is Salinas. It is a bay, so we don't really get tsunamis, which is kind of cool. If you ask me, that is kind of cool. To live at the beach without the possibility of a tsunami? Wow, pretty good idea, right? I used to live in Peru, and I lived in Lima, which is right on the coast. Went to the beach almost every day, or at least I had a view of it almost every single day, and a lot of fog because it is the beach. And there were tsunami signs everywhere because there was one really massive tsunami there quite a while ago. But in everybody's memory, everyone was really kind of freaked out about it. And when it starts to rain, or if there's a little bit of earthquake, actually, I'm sorry, it does never rain there. It starts to get kind of misty. It mists really heavily there. Anything that's a little bit weird or out of the ordinary, people get a little bit nervous. But if there's an earthquake, boy, people get scared there. As well they should, because the tsunamis that hit there before were huge. But only at 1 foot waves, that's not going to be much of a damage this time. But that is crazy. They say actual amplitudes at the coast may vary from forecast amplitudes due to uncertainties in the forecast and local features. In particular, maximum tsunami amplitudes on atolls and at locations with fringing or barrier reefs will likely be much smaller than the forecast indicates, the center added. So that's good. At least there's that. I'm looking at this and I see Barra de la Cruz. I'm looking at the cities near it. Not San Pedro, Huamalula, San Isidro, Chacalpa, Santa Maria, Zapotitlan. But no Puerto Escondido where I used to live. It is a yellow alert right now, though, for shaking-related fatalities and economic losses. Some casualties and damage are possible, but the impact should be relatively localized. Past yellow alerts required a local or regional level response. And they say that the estimated economic losses in Mexico are actually less than 1% of the gross domestic product, so that's okay. That's good. For having such a huge earthquake, that's not so bad. They say at least one person has lost its life. That's such an awkward sentence, is it not? It? Really? I mean, they can't say their, at least. Her, his, their. At least one person has lost its life due to landslide in Huatulco. Oh, Wow. An unknown number of people have been injured. It's unknown because they haven't counted them yet. More than 440 aftershocks were reported by the end of the day. Wow. And Pemex, a state-owned petroleum company, confirmed that one of its oil refineries did burst into flames. Injured one man who later died in a hospital, of course, due to the flames, but indirectly due to this 7.4 earthquake. Damn. 5 casualties, according to the June 24th mention. That is... Oh, damn. And then it shows another earthquake. Oh, man. Yeah, they're showing where I used to live, man. Right here. Damn. There's, if you want to go check this article out, it's on watchers.news, and they're showing there was another earthquake in Puerto Escondido. This is where I'm looking at on the map. This is exactly where I used to live. Between Salina Cruz and Ometepec. Puerto Escondido, man, they've got some crazy weather, crazy things happen there, but super beautiful place to live. My God. I mean, I woke up every day with the sound of the ocean and beautiful birds flying, and we had a massive lizard in the yard, and he was an iguana. He was about 3 or 4 feet long. He used to run up to my son and slap him in the leg and keep running. Scare the crap out of my son every time. And then he would like go over to the fence and make that laughing gesture, like he was laughing at what he just did. But we had to be careful in that yard because there were falling coconuts. But as soon as they fell, we would grab the machete and have fresh coconut juice. We loved it. Loved living there. In the early morning, we'd hear the mangoes fall and race over there and grab them before anyone else got a chance. The owners sometimes would grab them, sometimes they'd let them rot on the ground, and then the groundskeeper would have to throw them away. And then there was us and this other guy, and sometimes my son would grab them and, hey, dude, you want to, we'd share with the neighbor, do you want a mango? It was like, woohoo, breakfast. Breakfast fell from the trees today, guys. It was such a beautiful, I had this view of the ocean, I would just stare for hours at the ocean. It was absolutely an incredible place to live, but a lot of crazy stuff. Right after, there was like a hurricane there, like literally 48 hours after I left. Lived there 6 months, and I had a feeling, I'm like, guys, we need to get the hell out of here. The wind got a little weird, and I'm like, we need to get out of here now. And we raced through this massive storm, just a couple blocks to the nearest travel agent, and in my best Spanish, I'm like, I need to get the hell out of here, basically. Que demonios con la clima, what the hell with the climate here, suddenly. And they're like laughing, oh, well, and the town was evacuated 48 hours later after we left. It's like, thank you, God, for giving me such a damn good intuition, because I got your message loud and clear. And for a week before that, there was a UFO that came and just hung in the air every day for like a week. And my oldest and I saw it, and we were both scared and we're mesmerized by it, kept looking at it. And then after like 2 or 3 days, I'm like, no, that can't be a UFO. I think it's just a star. And we just didn't notice it before. I don't know what it is, but maybe we just didn't notice it before. It was like super bright. And after like a week, all of a sudden it was gone, and we're like, oh, now we're freaked out. A UFO hung in the air for like a week. And while we were there, every time we go to the restaurants, sometimes there'd be news on. And sometimes it'd be UFOs on the news. The government was very, very open about this stuff. Very odd, right? All right, so let's see. The next thing. Oh my God, you guys. In Istanbul, Turkey, there were deadly floods, hail, and a rare tornado hit. Deadly floods and hail and tornado. What the hell? Like, we are literally in the end times. I knew it was going to happen. I told you last night, but it still shocks the hell out of me. Deadly floods, hail, and a rare tornado hit Istanbul. That was reported on the 24th of June. Also reported that day, out of nowhere, I get hit by this energy. I'm sure this is the solar winds hitting now. I'm feeling it. I better get through this report before I fall asleep. Damn it. Okay. Let's send love and light to Turkey and Istanbul, the energy of sunshine and happiness. State of emergency was declared after severe floods hit Serbia and Bosnia. Again with the heavy rains. So let's send them sunshine and energy of happiness and love. I mean, while we're at it, let's just send love all the way around the world. The largest Saharan dust cloud in 50 years engulfed the Caribbean, and the air quality was at record hazardous levels. Oh my God, that's the last thing people need. We're in the middle of a global pandemic. 1 billion planets are in retrograde. We're being hit by God knows what, affecting the magnetosphere. Noctilucent clouds because crap is hitting the meteorites are hitting the upper atmosphere. We're in the middle of eclipse season, and now the largest Saharan dust cloud in 50 years has engulfed the Caribbean, and the air quality is at record hazardous levels. I shudder to ask what's next. I guess we could send them rain, a little bit of rain, over to the Caribbean. I guess knock the Saharan dust out of the air. Now here's a fun one. I say facetiously. This is not fun at all. This is damn scary, you guys. The world's largest dam. The world's largest dam is in danger of collapse amid historic flooding, and 400 million people are at risk in China. Oh my God, you guys, let's just send them a lot of love and light. They've got to be in fear right now. I mean, they just finished the coronavirus crisis over there. They got through it, and now this. So I'm going to read the article. A flood alert has been raised near the Three Gorges Dam in China, the largest hydropower project in the world, as the country grapples with the worst flooding in 70 years. Torrential rains have caused havoc throughout the southwest and central region this month, with many rivers bursting their banks. Wow, and it prompted mass evacuations. As many as 400 million people may be at risk, however, the local media Global Times said experts have dismissed reports that the dam is at a brink of collapse. Of course they're going to dismiss it. They want people to stop working, and, they want everything to go on as normal. Otherwise, it's just absolutely scary. Heavy rains over the past weeks have led to natural disasters being declared in 24 provinces and municipalities in the southwest and central regions of China, especially areas near the upper reaches of the Yangtze River and the Three Gorges Dam. According to Asia Times Financial, this is the largest flooding since 1949, and it's caused major problems to the dam, which is located near Yicheng in Hubei province, near the town of Sanduping. Zhao Yunfa, the deputy chief engineer of the Overflow Dispatch Communication Center at the Three Gorges project, warned people, do not pin your hopes on the Three Gorges Dam. Ooh, as its flood storage capacity is limited. So now there's 400 million people residing near the dam that are now at risk. Now I'm trying to see I mean, there's a lot. Oh my God, there are a lot of pictures. Holy man. Wow. Oh my God, there's a lot of pictures on Twitter. They're showing pictures from Twitter. You could go to Watchers .news. I'm looking and looking and looking to see. They say it's the largest flood. The largest flood 71 years ago might happen again this year, they're saying. Oh my God. So far, so good. The dam is holding, but they're scared that it's on the verge of collapse. Oh my goodness. Wow. It doesn't say, it's weird because it doesn't really say what's going on. They're not really saying how much of the rain, but it's definitely, oh my goodness, guys, it is definitely dangerous. All right, here's the last article for the night, and then we'll get to some weird news. More than 130 people have been killed as severe thunderstorms have hit India, and Bihar records one of its highest daily death tolls caused by lightning. So God just doesn't like some people, I guess. Oh my God. 133 people died, which is one of the highest daily death tolls from lightning. But they do expect that the death toll will rise as the reports come in. 85 deaths are reported throughout East Bihar, 24 near the Uttar Pradesh, with another 9 in Bihar and 15 in Assam. And 20 people also sustained injuries across both states. The government of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, they both announced a compensation of $5,300, which is the equivalent of 400,000 rupees, for the next of kin of the victims who were hit by lightning. Well, that's quite nice of them, because this is an act of God, or in India, act of the gods, I suppose. I don't know. It says lightning strikes during the annual June through September monsoon season. They are fairly common in the country, but Lakshmeshwar Raj, Bihar's disaster management minister, noted that this is one of the state's highest daily tolls from lightning. And they're waiting on more casualty reports. They think it was actually more than that. That is absolutely crazy. In 2018, more than 2,300 people were killed by lightning in the country of India. Wow. And last year, 239 people in Uttar Pradesh died from that. So, heavy rain to locally very heavy rain and thunderstorms are forecast in the northeast and eastern states on through the 28th of June. But isolated heavy rain is expected over parts of southern states. So I guess we should just be sending them some sunshine. That is absolutely crazy. Oh my goodness. Now there's somebody here, Jamal Schreier. He said he does explain the details, the correlation between thunderstorms and cosmic rays. Well, this guy looks interesting too. This is just someone reading the article and adding his 2 cents at the bottom. This looks very interesting. He said that lightning strikes and their intensity have increased enormously in the last few years, especially since 2018. And he actually has an article that will be published in the magazine Nexus next month. Well, good for you, Jamal Schreier. This is cool. Or Jamal, I guess maybe his name is. That is nuts. All right, well, you guys, I'm going to take a quick break. Well, not a break, but I'm going to pause this for a minute while I look for some cool, weird news. I think it behooves us to have something funny in our lives. All right, hold on. All right, I found some kind of funny headlines. We're going to go through the headlines from metro.co.uk. Here's a quote from a lady. She says, "You can kick someone else's balls, but you can't touch them." Of course, is the new coronavirus rule for the tennis court. You were so dirty-minded. I know what you were thinking. Put your initials on your balls so you don't confuse them for someone else's, she says. Tennis balls, of course. Now, let's see. This one's really weird. A man with a horse and a cart was furious because he was being refused service at Kentucky Fried Chicken drive-thru. They say Ian Bell, he was 55 years old, and he put his, what looks like a very short, looks like an Irish horse, maybe like a Irish version of a Clydesdale, with his little horse and cart. And they say that the fast food chain, that's what he said, the fast food chain humiliated him. Dude, you're in a horse and a cart. Like, it's 2020, not 1820. I don't even know. I can't even with him. Meghan Markle. Love her from Suits. If you've never seen the show Suits and you love a good legal drama, it's a really good one. But there's also some good personal storylines to the show. And Meghan Markle played a pretty prominent role, except in the last season, because of course she married you know who. Meghan Markle believes that she was destined to leave the UK to fight racism in the United States. She's now a duchess, because she married the prince. She reportedly told her friends that she had a gnawing urgency to uproot from England. And she feels that this was fate because she is at the forefront of the anti-racism movement. So good for her. Boris Johnson spent £900,000 on a plane, and the Union flag was painted on it upside down. During protests, a man was fined £450 for a provocative fart in front of police officers. Officers said the man had been sitting on a park bench before he got up, looked at them, and then he let go a massive intestinal wind, apparently with full intent. They fined him for it. Oh, this is what's happening in the UK, guys. This is what is happening in the UK. Doctors remove a mobile phone charger from a man's bladder. Doctors believe it could have been inserted for sexual gratification. I'm not going to touch that one with any kind of pole, let alone a 10-foot one. Could this be the latest sighting of the Loch Ness Monster? Well, this is a nice segue. Let's get away from those last crazy stories. There is a shot that was taken by Steve Chalice near Urquhart Castle. It looks pretty convincing, guys. I mean, you could barely see it, but I mean, it looks like something. It more looks like a shark than a Loch Ness Monster, in my opinion. But, I mean, that's pretty cool, right? All right, we're going to go see if we can find some good headlines somewhere else. I'm going to pause this again for a minute. Okay, these headlines are very, very odd. They're from oddee.com. ODDEE.com. I'm going to just say the headlines. Teenager cleans up after protests and the community rewards him. Well, good. That's not that odd. That's very sweet. Another state passes no sex between cops and detainees. So why wasn't that a law already? We're moving on. Clumsiest animal alive stages a jailbreak, and it looks like a panda bear. I don't know. I'm not going to read that one, but you can go to audi.com and check it out yourself. A man uses live landmines to decorate his front yard. Well, I think that he just won my Curmudgeon Club of the Year award. A man uses a live landmines, more than one, to decorate his front yard. Live landmines. Now, I hope to God he doesn't have gophers, because he's going to have a lot more than the gopher to clean up. Hope he never gets any mail, let alone drone deliveries from Amazon.com. Live landmines. I guess that would take care of the neighbor's dog if it's been trespassing. But I shudder to think. I don't know why I read that and I thought of my dad for some reason. I don't know that he would ever do something like that, but for some reason, my dad's a curmudgeon, and it makes me feel like this is a very curmudgeon-y thing to do. Very odd. Very, very odd. Oh, well, hence it's on Audi. Here's a good one. A wife has dumped her abusive husband's ashes into the garbage. Oh, God. You just can't make this stuff up. A robber returns to the scene of the crime for his keys because he forgot them. Yeah, that's par for the course. Someone found a real-life buried treasure, maybe. I think that one might have to do with the Fen treasure, so we talked about that one already a few days ago. Men with machetes get address wrong for sex party. That one just gives me the willies. Oh, wait, wrong choice of words. Oh, I think they mean like a S&M party, but I don't even want it. Oh, God, I'm feeling weird. A fractal burning kills a man, and his wife raises awareness. What the hell is fractal burning? Do you even know what that is? I don't know. I don't know if that is. The Belgian man was pranked with pizza deliveries for 9 long years. We talked about that already. But you would think that he'd just, after the first year, he'd put a sign in his yard saying, I didn't order no effing pizza, right? And you would think that maybe the Belgian people, pizza people, would have a policy where they call him directly, Did you order this pizza? They should have his number. Man holds his pee after drinking beer and his bladder explodes. Well, you know what? This can happen. This can happen. It happened to a famous scientist. Oh my God. I want to say Copernicus. It's not Copernicus, is it? Oh my God. I'm trying to remember this name of this scientist. Oh my God. Was it Isaac Newton, maybe? Anyway, I remember a story, and now I can't remember who it was, but that he was very posh in society. He was having a party and he was enjoying himself so much that he failed to relieve himself on time, and his bladder burst in front of his guests and he died. Let that be a lesson to you. When you need to pee, go right now. Go right now. Loch Ness Monster caught on new photos does spark an online debate. So even from Audi.com, so that's 2 websites mentioning the Loch Ness Monster. I'm going to have to go look into that. Study finds that personality traits are responsible for toilet paper hoarding. Okay. In case you didn't know, owls sleep face down. I did not know that. Who would ever have guessed that? I couldn't help myself. I'm such a dork. New pizza topping debate. Iguana or nah? Ooh, guys, I don't know. I'm going to go with nah. There is part 2, in case you guys read part 1, of a woman who wrestles a fox gets tested for rabies. Just in case, there's part 1 and part 2. I guess they thought that was compelling enough. Compelling enough to write 2 articles about it. Poland invades the Czech Republic by accident. If you guys want to read that, you can. I don't find it terribly exciting. A letter from Winnie the Pooh sells for $15,000. Well, that sounds strange. I mean, Winnie the Pooh was a stuffed bear and a cartoon. But very interesting. I love A.A. Milne. I've always loved the Winnie the Pooh stories, so that one does look interesting. The dumbest tourist ever pets a lion and yet does not die. Well, that's good. That does sound kind of dumb. I remember years ago there was a story of a man who pet a lion. He got on the other side. He wanted to sleep with the lions because he trusted them, and he probably shouldn't have, because they actually ate him. I guess he fell asleep, and then they're like, wow, our dessert came to us tonight, guys. And the authorities the next day found his remains and tent and sleeping bag. It's just, don't trust lions. I mean, the fact that we even have to warn people about this really concerns me. Yeah, they're cute and they're furry, and we want to pet their sweet little scrunchy faces, but they will eat us. They will eat us. Especially when you make yourself super available to be eaten. What one line say to the other one in this case? Hey, look who's coming to dinner, honey. All right, I'm going to hold on another minute. I'm going to see if I can find some better articles in these. Okay, hold on. All right, well, I had to go to the old standard, Coast to Coast AM. They always have some interesting things to talk about on the website. Something about law enforcement forum and battling demonic spirits was last night. And when I read that, I thought, of course, police are battling demons. Hex the police. I don't think that's what they meant. I think those were 2 separate issues, because there was a line between them. So I think it was like 2 things they're talking about on the open lines, or no, it's not open lines, it's just for the day. They say forum, but it wasn't really open lines, it's tonight, so I don't know. Ancient whale bones were unearthed beneath an Edinburgh construction site. 2 very large ancient whale bones they found in Edinburgh, Scotland. That's interesting. Let's see. Scientists in Japan have proven that soap bubbles can be used to pollinate fruit trees. They have to coat the soap bubbles in pollen, I guess, and then blow on them so they could go pollinate trees. I'd rather just have the bees, like the normal way. But that's weird. CERN makes a bold push to build a $23 billion super collider. The European Particle Physics Lab will pursue a 100-kilometer machine to uncover the Higgs boson's secrets. 100 kilometers. Oh my God. Oh, I shudder to think what they're going to do, what kind of havoc they're going to wreak upon our world. Massive Egyptian pyramids may dwarf the Giza structures. They don't know if they're largest pyramids ever discovered or natural features. They're looking into it. We'll find out soon enough, I guess. So far, right now, though, the most amount of pyramids that have ever been discovered in the world is in Syria. I learned that this week. And the largest pyramid ever to be discovered by volume is in Guatemala. That's just north of Tikal in the jungle. I almost went there with my kids. We were planning a trek out there. We knew an archaeologist, and she knew the main head archaeologist on the project, and I was going to go volunteer just to keep their campsite clean, just so I could watch them work unearthing the largest volcano. And she said, he'd probably love to have you. You won't be allowed to touch the site itself. You could just stay there in a tent for a few days, but that might be something good for the kids. And by the time I was ready to go up there, they had stopped for the rainy season. See, where I was living, the rainy season had just ended, and I didn't realize that there are microclimates throughout Guatemala. The first time I ever was aware of that, and apparently it was already too rainy. And the thing is, you have to take a horse for 3 days into the jungle, just north of Tikal. And when it gets so thick that you cannot any longer take a horse, the person whose horses it is will take the horses back, and you got to hack your way through the jungle for 3 more days, and then you reach the pyramid. So we were going to do it. We were actually considering it. We're talking about it. Like, seriously, it was a discussion with my kids and I, and then I started realizing it's rainy season and there are jaguars about. I'd rather be up on a horse and down on the ground in the jungle at night with jaguars. I didn't think I was prepared for that, so we decided to wait. And we said in about 20 years, we will have paved roads to it and a tourist attraction, and you pay about $20 to get in. I'm like, well, that sounds about right. Let's do it that way. So a 25-foot python was killed by Indonesian villagers this week. The man who first tried to capture the snake was bitten and attacked. That's about right. Oh, ghosts and fairies have been attacking railways. Fairies and poltergeists apparently caused problems in the 19th century on the English train routes. I'm going to check this one out. This sounds amazing. I like this story. So, one thing that united the Victorian supernatural world was a passionate loathing for railways. We have in the 19th century report after report of fairies and their ghostly cousins disappearing once trains arrived in a given valley. Fairies have fled before the steam whistle from many a sylvan scene, as one Scottish journalist trilled it. And comments like this could be multiplied dozens of times from the 1840s through the Second World War. But what, bear with me here, they say, if occasionally the local bogies fought back against the tedious march of modernity? Oh, here's a quote. It says from 1857, written by a man named Sullivan. At the time of the construction of the Lancaster and Carlisle Railway, something was said of fairies pulling down the big bridge at Shap, where the work perhaps did not get on very expeditiously. I can't even say that word. Expeditiously. But as far as I am aware, it may have been an unauthentic report. Then why report it at all, dude? Like, oh my gosh. They say that the idea of Cumbrian fairies riding Cherokee style down the hills around Shap to wreak havoc on the line layers. But then when they say unauthentic report, this guy says it made him reluctant to use it. All right, fine. Let's see. There is a book, though, called South Manchester Supernatural, The Ghosts, Fairies, Bogarts, and Superstitions of Victorian Gorton, Lees, Newton, and Saddleworth. Wow, it's like a really big title. So basically, it looks like this writer, came across it again and again and again about the fairies attacking the railway. Well, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? All right, we're gonna check up on. We've got about 5 minutes left here. Well, Katie Mack, the astrophysicist and social media phenomenon, says she pretty much knows about the fate of the universe, and as she is a cosmologist, she knows how it's all going to end. You might want to look at that. The world might be quieter after the pandemic, according to the BBC. Yeah, I agree with that. It's got to be. I think I mentioned this to you, but in case I didn't, 1/5 of the ocean's floor of Earth has now been officially mapped out. There have been a swarm of lights over Buenos Aires. Unidentified flying objects went quickly viral through the Twitter world. In Argentina, lots of swarms of lights. I have seen several of this footage. It's worth checking into. I know it's a Palladian light ships. When you see it, you're going to agree. There was one off the coast of Mexico, a really, really nice giant Palladian ship, and then one hilarious one in Vegas where this guy is like freaking out. I mentioned a few days ago. They did find a new Neolithic monument near Stonehenge. Another one. So that's going to be interesting as they uncover that. A black neutron star has been discovered and changes astronomy. So if you want to check that one out, that's an article on coasttocoastam.com. More massive than collapsed stars, neutron stars, have less mass than black holes. Well, that's interesting. Well, we might want to check that one out a little bit later. And again, they're talking about the Loch Ness Monster, so there might be something to it. And they said, did an Alaskan volcano help to change the face of the Mediterranean world? When unrest was roiled in Egypt and an empire was rising in Rome, an Alaskan volcano apparently was going off. Very interesting. There's a plague mid a pandemic in East Africa, and especially in Kenya, West Asia, combat surging during a locust outbreak. So the United Nations now has estimated that they have killed already 450 billion pests since January, but the battle against the massive crop-destroying swarms of locusts is far from over. It's really, really crazy. Senators do want the public now to see the government's UFO reports. The issue has lacked attention from senior leaders, says the Senate Intelligence Committee. Yeah, I want to see it too. So, disclosure happened during all this other crap, and we all kind of somehow missed it. So, everything's been declassified. So go check it out. Go check it out. There is a very eerie tourist attraction at Chained Oak in the village of Alton. You might want to check it out. It looks very eerie in the pictures. Some ghost stories going on over there. Remember, we're talking about the Saharan desert sand going up in the air. Well, on Coast to Coast AM, they call it the world's biggest dust bunny that's crossing the Atlantic Ocean. It's a Godzilla-sized dust cloud. Yeah, it is. That's crazy. Let's see. There's new maps that reveal details about the size and shape of Earth's lost eighth continent, Zealandia. Well, I'm waiting for them to find Mu, Lemuria, as well as Atlantis. A filmmaker did vanish in the wilderness in 2018. There's an article on Coast to Coast AM about it. A Neptune-sized exoplanet has been found zooming around a nearby young star. That's very interesting. A musician's latest project is made of bat noises. Oh my god, bat noises. Bat noises are wonderful. They sound like a running river until you realize you're underneath a sea of bats, and that's where the words batshit crazy come from. I'm sure of it because it happened to me in the jungles of Colombia. I said, hey kids, you hear that river? Let's go check it out. In the middle of the night. And apparently we disturbed the bats and they started flying, and millions of bats. And we got covered in bat shit. And we started running and we were going crazy, and it was absolute chaos and pandemonium and hilarious. At the same time, we were covered in batshit. So, that's where that comes from. I can't imagine that this latest project of this musician has made of bat noises, but the bat noises are very strange. I mean, when there's so many like that, it literally just sounds like a running river. It's a little eerie though, I don't know. Very, very strange. Oh goodness. The Stone Age man's jawless skull was found on a spike. Here's what he looks like. Well, basically 10 other adults. The remains were found in Sweden. You might want to check that out. Well, that's it for tonight. I'm done. These stories are too strange. There is I think in Tokyo, I read earlier, there's a brand new ghost attraction if you like haunted houses. This is one that I guess it kind of fits along with the global pandemic. You don't have to get out of your car. It's a drive-through haunted house where people that are dressed like zombies will attack your car. All right, well, that's it. On that note, I need to go. Not there. In the opposite direction. I'm going to stay in Ecuador. That's crazy. Well, anyway, that's it. Remember to pray for the people who are suffering in the world, and especially for the people in Africa that are having food shortages due to the locusts and can't leave their house due to the global pandemic. I don't know what we could do. Send prayers, maybe send food, send money so the United Nations can buy food. But whatever God lays upon your heart, as my brother says, whatever you feel the need to go towards in your charity, in service to others, go for it. And go for it with joy and peace and love. Remember, keep fighting for Black Lives Matter. That's important. And as well as a whole bunch of stuff that's important, but that's important. Remember to vote if there's primaries in your state, if you're in the U.S. We don't need a Cheeto marking up the White House anymore. We need someone else. We need someone else in there. All right. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your continued confidence and faith in me, and for listening, subscribing, liking, sharing, favoriting, and telling everybody you know about Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. Remember, coming up next week is July 1st, where you'll get to vote for this podcast in the People's Choice Awards category of spirituality and religion. I will let you know next week what you need to do to vote for the podcast to get the word out more. So that's it. That's all she wrote. She, meaning me. But I'll be back on Monday with all unique and original programming, just like always. We have a brand new book coming for you on Monday, so don't miss out on that. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Remember, take it easy. Take a tizzy if you are Ricky Ricardo. He used to always say, take a tizzy. And that's what Lucy would always say, take a tizzy. And so take it easy. Anyway, we have 3 days of cosmic radiation and a lot of solar winds coming our way. So just be careful, guys. I'm signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the Holy Fifth Dimension. Till next time, guys. Peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.